for Argentina. What's the benefits for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following.
So here we are, 2 weeks into the government shutdown, and Trump just invited Argentina's president to the White House to discuss, $20 billion that he's just going to give Argentina out of taxpayers' dollars. What the fuck about us? We in the government shutdown right now. Over 4,000 federal workers was just fired. Air safety control, they've been working for free. You expect motherfuckers to do this shit for free because they care about air safety? I get that. But bro, what about what's going on in our motherfucking country? Trump said Argentina is a very beautiful country and he would hate to see it fail. So they go another $20 billion bailout. You might as well go try to run for president over there, brother. I'm not gonna lie. Try to keep it thorough as possible. He said if the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, wins the election, he will be 100% backing Argentina. I know some of y'all don't care, but if the other presidents win the election, he will not be backing Argentina because they wouldn't be making Argentina great again. He want everything to be great. But here go a little secret. Start here, brother.
Y'all cannot convince me that the USA is a real place after finding out Argentina about to receive $20 billion when our government is shut down and they trying to refuse to pay these people they back pay money. When I tell y'all I cannot wait till this man get out the White House, I'm confused. Are y'all putting America first or y'all putting America last? Meanwhile, they are defunding the healthcare system, the education system, SNAP benefits, Wheels on Meals, anything that help people of color or people that just don't have it. I'm going to say it because I don't give a damn. This whole administration is crooked, it's rotten, and Babylon will fall at this point.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Now, I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
Damn, Trump did it.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of love.
You ain't gonna see no fruit from that love. At best, you're gonna see a prune.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical.
Boy, racism expensive as fuck, ain't it?
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
Ice cream on a cake? Motherfucker, that's some shit on a shingle. And that is the perfect storm. You remember that movie where everybody died in that motherfucker? Perfect Storm? That's it right there.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
Didn't this same type of shit happen this first go around? Well, you should have knew this was going to be worse. But I bet you'll vote for him again.
A decision to go out this year in the spring. So my son will not be the seventh generation on our farm.
Well, hopefully this will stop the seventh generation of something else. Cut that shit off at goddamn sixth generation. Send that boy to the city. Let him get a job. Meet some other people of a different hue. Maybe even stick his stick in the brown. He'll have a whole new perspective on life.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Well, I heard UPS hiring.
So, we're in the middle of a government shutdown. Federal workers are being laid off. Military personnel might not get paid. But guess what? We have enough money to bail out Argentina. We just sent them $20 billion. Thanks a lot, Trump. America first, right?
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. So, the news broke this week that the United States was giving a $20 billion bailout to Argentina. Now, a lot of people were upset that it was $20 billion of American tax dollars going to Argentina. Well, folks, don't worry about the $20 billion anymore. The number is so big, I had a hard time saying that. Now it's going to be $40 billion. And Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is the one who said that number. And he said it because we're taking another route instead of, using like military action in a country. So basically what he is saying, he's taking $40 billion of your American taxes, giving it to Argentina to buy their loyalty. Instead of using the military, they'll just give them money. But what you should be upset about is the $40 billion in a time when our federal government is shut down.
So according to the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, we could potentially be sending Argentina up to $40 billion. Yes, that is billion with a B. What happened to America first? $40 billion could go a long way in this country to help solve a lot of problems that we have here at home. But let's go ahead and give it to a foreign country. But, and here's the important part, there's strings attached to this money. And the only way Argentina is going to get that money is if they re-elect the current president. He's a Trump ally. So basically, our government, now this isn't nothing new, but we are now officially interfering in another country's elections by dangling a $40 billion carrot in front of everybody. The corruption is just, by the day, it's getting worse. And just because it's out in the open doesn't mean it's good. Because I know there's a lot of MAGA out there that believe, oh, at least they're being transparent about it. Okay? Corruption is still corruption, whether it's transparent or not.
So we were wrong. We said that Argentina was getting $20 billion from Donald Trump. It's more like $40 billion. Because if you can't make America great again, why not make Argentina great again? Good job, Donald Trump.
By now, I'm sure we all know that Trump has either funded or is currently funding Argentina with a massive $40 billion US. And what's even wild is that the original agreement was 20 billion, but as of yesterday that number doubled, 40 billion US dollars. Now for starters, ever since this government shutdown, federal workers aren't getting paid, the military isn't getting paid, groceries are ridiculously high, and tariffs are through the roof. Naturally that has pissed a lot of Americans, and rightfully so, because let's be honest, why on earth would you bail out another country for that much money while your own is literally sinking? Why is there always money for everything else except Americans? These are the questions people are asking right now, and to be fair, they have every reason to be angry. Pardon me for that. Elections truly have consequences, and I say this because I've been scrolling through TikTok and I've come across videos of white MAGA farmers crashing out, literally breaking down because of this move. And listen, as much as this decision is hurting every American, I strongly believe that the one who voted the boss are hating even more. I mean, imagine voting for someone because you believe they would lower grocery prices, make life affordable, and bring financial relief, only to find yourself in a government shutdown while your tax dollars are being sent overseas to bail out another country. It is frustrating. It's confusing, and for a lot of people it feels like a betrayal. So don't be shy, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I definitely want to hear what you think about this. Yeah, let's keep watching. I'll come back at the end of this video, to give my own 2 cents, and yeah, I'm gonna break it down like what I really think about this, because there's some new information that I've discovered concerning this topic. Let's continue watching.
Right. President Trump just bailed out Argentina, a foreign country, with 20 billion US tax dollars. This is insane. This is a massive bailout. We are in the middle of a government shutdown. They've laid off thousands of federal employees. They have people working in the government not getting paid, and he is giving a foreign country $20 billion of our money. He can just unilaterally make that decision now? I don't know. We'll see what happens here with this, but this is unprecedented. And apparently Argentina, the leader there, President Milei, his party lost a major election, and it caused their currency to become totally destabilized. Now, he's been putting in a bunch of policies very similar to what Trump has been doing here. The Trump administration said they needed to do this to stabilize the currency in Argentina and keep this problem from spreading and spilling over into other countries, causing a larger financial global crisis. That's their argument. Do you buy it? I don't know. This looks more like a political favor to a friend of President Trump's rather than something that is in Americans' best interests. So if he can bail out this country, he better get this government open and do it right away. We must demand it. Let me know if you demand it, and the Republicans to get back to work in the House and get our government reopened. We can't be bailing out other countries with billions of dollars while Americans are suffering here at home. This is unacceptable, and we cannot allow it. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the full.
So Donald Duck isn't just giving Argentina $20 billion to bail out. He's giving them $40 billion. Mind you, during a government shutdown, it has been decided that Argentina is going to get $40 billion to bail out while our farmers are suffering. Rural red states are collapsing. Farmers are not able to survive, okay? And the Trump administration has admitted that their policies are directly responsible for what is happening in those rural red states to the farmers. Are you still confident in your vote? Was voting for hate still fucking worth it? Are you still gonna say that your vote was worth it, okay? Is it really worth it hating other people so much that you lose your fucking farm, that you lose your everything? Imagine being so fucking hateful that you still support that man, knowing that he could give two shits about you and would bail out a foreign country before you, and you still lick his motherfucking boots.
Breaking news, Argentina's bailout has now doubled to $40 billion in taxpayer money. And the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, says we're working on a $20 billion facility that will complement our swap line with private banks and sovereign funds that I believe will be more focused on the debt market. Well, Trump says we're helping a great philosophy take over a great country. We want him to succeed. This referring to Javier Milei, who's the current president, and he is running to be reelected. Those 40 billions are contingent to Javier Milei being reelected as a president. Otherwise, Trump said that if he loses, we're not going to be generous with Argentina. Now, critics are calling this very un-American mentality because they're using taxpayer dollars to support Argentina instead of military forces. And let's just remember that bailout in between the US and Argentina started very quickly affecting the soy farmers here in the US, because as soon as the US agreed on that initial $20 billion, Argentina dropped their exportation tax fees on soy, and China started buying from Argentina instead of the US. As always, sources are on the caption. Spread the word and follow for more news.
Conservatives will be like, we can't have free healthcare because we can't afford that shit, dude. That's too much money. And then Donald Trump will give $40 billion to Argentina, and then no one bats an eye. They're like, that's his buddy. Of course he's going to give $40 billion to a failing country that has nothing to do with the United States. That's normal.
Okay, so like I explained, this is the new information that I found online. These are not facts. I'm just sharing what I collected on TikTok. Yeah, so according to other sources, this 40 billion lifeline given to Argentina is supposedly a good thing. I'm not sure about that, but let me try to explain what I came across, and then you can be the judge, because honestly, this story gets a little deeper once you start connecting what I'm about to tell you. So here's what I found out. On Tuesday, October 9th, the U.S. Treasury Department finalized what's being called a 20 billion currency swap framework with Argentina. Then just 2 days later, on Thursday, the U.S. reportedly went ahead and bought Argentina pesos in the open market. This was apparently done to make good on Donald Trump's pledge to prop up Argentina's struggling economy. And that move instantly sent the peso and Argentina's bonds higher. Now, for those wondering what exactly a currency swap is. Let me break it down in simple terms. So a currency swap is basically an agreement between two countries, or more specifically their central banks, to exchange a certain amount of money in one currency for an equivalent amount in another currency for a specific period of time. Let's think of this as it's not a direct loan, but rather a financial partnership where each country agrees to lend their currency to the other to help stabilize exchange rates and support international trade. In other words, when the US does the currency swap with Argentina, it's kind of like saying, hey, I'll give you dollars for your pesos right now, and later you give us back our dollars when your economy stabilizes. So in essence, it's more like an investment or strategic move than a straight up cash giveaway. Now, based on that explanation, it's easy to see how some might say this isn't necessarily a bad thing. So according to Trump and his supporters, this deal is about strengthening America's allies, not just throwing money away. They claim that helping Argentina's economy could equally actually help keep the US dollar strong in the long run, because Argentina is seen as one of America's key allies in Southern America. So Trump himself has often said that a stable Argentina benefits the US, especially when it comes to trade, agriculture, and global market stability. From that perspective, he's not just bailing out another country, he's investing an ally that could potentially give America some strategic leverage. Yeah, but let's be real, not everyone sees it that way. A lot of Americans are still furious, and understandably so, because even if this is technically a currency swap and not a direct bailout, it still feels like billions of taxpayers' dollars are being tied up in another country's problems, while Americans back home are struggling to pay for groceries, rent, gas, and utilities. The frustration is real, and it's boiling over federal workers who are still dealing with the fallout of the government shutdown. The military hasn't received their pay, and everyday Americans are watching their cost of living skyrockets. So when you see headlines like billions are going to another country, it doesn't matter how strategic or temporarily the deal might be, it still feels like a slap in the face. And that's why this issue has hit a nerve, especially among Trump's own base. You've got people who voted for him because they believed he would put America first, reduce foreign spending, and focus on rebuilding the US economy. And now they're watching him do this exact opposite. That's where the anger, confusion, and sense of betrayal are coming from. But again, depending on how you look at it, some experts say that this move could benefit both nations in the long run. They argue that stabilizing Argentina's economy could help protect U.S. investments abroad, strengthen the dollar's global dominance, and prevent financial shocks that could ripple back to the American economy. It's one of those situations where you have to weigh short-term pain against a long-term strategy. But for the average American struggling to make ends meet, that explanation doesn't make any life easier. So here's where I stand. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just sharing the information that I came across online. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much of this is factual, okay? Because different outlets are reporting different things, and there's still a lot of confusion about how much money has actually, changed hands so far. What I do know is that this story has raised serious questions about priorities, leadership, and what America first really means. If this deal truly helps the US dollar stay strong, well, that's great. But if it ends up leaving ordinary Americans in a worse position, then we have to ask, was it really worth it? So what do you think about this, guys? Do you believe that this 40 billion lifeline to Argentina is a smart strategic move that will strengthen America in the long term? Or do you think it's another example of the government putting other countries ahead of its own people? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really love to hear from you, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about politics, it's about priorities. And right now, it feels like a lot of Americans are starting to wonder who those priorities really save. I think that's what I had for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on that notification bell so that every time I upload such videos, guys will be notified. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful.